This is the week where excuses stopped working. Purdue, ugh, boiler down. Houston keeps winning while shrinking offensively. Bama keeps testing to how many red flags a contender is allowed to have. Kentucky, Jesus Christ, they might have had the worst night of all of us. That was a pretty big reality check for the Wildcats there. There weren't really any upsets unless you count IU winning at Assembly. There are so many stress tests in college basketball this week, and January just showed us which teams can handle the pressure and which ones can't, which ones are absolutely tanking right now and which ones have March Madness potential. So, Brad, what we got going on this week?
Well, I feel like nobody really lost credibility as much as like just one score in particular, but it's how they played. Purdue waited for help. Alabama leaned on the whistle a little too heavily. Houston drifted. Kentucky just flat out folded. And Michigan State keeps flirting with sloppiness like it won't come back to bite them. Contenders don't need to be don't need perfect conditions. They impose themselves. This week showed us who still needs things to go right and who can win when they don't. Let's stop pretending they're the same thing. That's kind of my opening thoughts. But let's go ahead and get our hands dirty here and start out with Nebraska at Michigan. Michigan winning 75-72.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's such things as moral victories in college basketball, but Nebraska playing with one of the best teams in the country, statistically, analytically, record-wise, and hanging tough with them and really having a shot to win it. Only 4 free throw attempts. Just absolutely fantastic. This Nebraska team is probably my favorite story so far this year. Michigan did not look good in this game that they beat a top 5 undefeated team. I mean, they had 19 turnovers. Elliot Cadeau went full Elliot Cadeau. Lindenborg didn't have a particularly great game. It's just a weird Michigan game, but there's so many fun stories with this Nebraska team. Hoiberg is probably my favorite glue guy. And I'm not even sure if you can call him a glue guy. He's a coach's kid. He's just going out there and doing coach kid stuff. And that's kind of fun to watch. I mean, like usually it's either a spoiled brat or the hardest working player on the floor. And in this case, it's the hardest working player on the floor.
Yeah, no, Hoiberg needs a lot more love. Absolutely playing out of his mind. And I don't think it's good. In his last 5, he's averaging 13, 6, and 5, along with whatever he does on defense. I mean, the guy rarely ever turns it over and always has multiple steals. He needs some love, like, because he's not like floating on daddy's coattails and getting the play because daddy's the coach. He would be starting in almost every school out there right now. But I go back and forth on this. Like, yeah, Nebraska, yay, you were an undefeated team. Glad you played within one possession, proving that you belong up there in the top 5. With a very good Michigan team that's outstanding analytically. But you did it when they had 19 turnovers and you had 13 steals, but you still like couldn't score enough there. Like, that's 13 live ball possessions that you should have been able to do something with, where you have the advantage. You shot way too many threes. At the same time, you hit enough that it made a difference, and you forced the turnovers. You didn't get a lot of help off your bench, but at the same time, they played 23 minutes. I don't know. Lawrence and Sandifer did the thing, and Hoiberg played well. They're searching for who needs to be starting in the other 2 spots, and I don't know that they have it. Michigan just continues to flex because there was no answer for Morez Thompson. That guy was doing whatever he wanted, how he wanted, when he wanted. The big guy for Nebraska just had no chance at all. He gave up 17 and 12 to him, and half of them came to the free throw line, so he was just fouling all the way. I mean, that's what worries me about Nebraska. You shoot 4 free throws. Everything was on the outside of the perimeter, and you weren't being very aggressive. Like, your best player, Sanford, shot 16 threes of his 18 shots. Like, he's not doing anything inside the lane. So that's a recipe for an early exit in March, being that dependent on the 3 ball and not getting to the hole. But at the same time, you went 20 games before a loss. That seems like you should get to the layups every once in a while.
Yeah. I heard a quote once, gents, that great teams beat good teams on bad nights. So I'm not sure what we're wanting to say about Michigan right now. I'm not going to wax and say that they had a good night or that they looked great by any means. They did not, but they are just finding ways to win. I mean, hell, they're about to go up 13 on Michigan State right now, and in a game that they probably should be up 20.
That's what it is. It's like every time it's like yeah, you're up 13, but you screwed around enough that it's got a 12-point lead is now a 13-point game. At some point, it's going to they're going to do that against the wrong team, a team that they're up 10 on, or should be up 10. They're up 2, and they end up losing the game. I don't know, but it's
Yeah.
also maybe that they should be up 25 on the road at a top 10. Ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. But yeah, that's my quote of the day for Michigan. I think Arizona's obviously got the best record, probably the best resume, but Michigan's still right up there with them.
Speaking of who's Michigan's playing tonight, we just mentioned this. Michigan State are playing as we're recording. But Michigan State getting the win against Rutgers in overtime. Should have never happened. That game should have never gone to overtime, in my opinion. But when you have 15 turnovers, you're gonna leave yourself vulnerable.
So great teams beat good teams on bad nights. What happens when a good team beats a bad team on a really bad night? So
Yeah.
Michigan State, this is a throw the tape away game. This is a game where Michigan State should have won the game by 30. But I think what's happening in this game right now against Michigan is the same thing that happened against Rutgers. Sometimes offensively, Michigan State is just absolutely anemic. We're seeing it tonight. We saw it the other day. They turned it on when they needed to turn it on. I mean, they had no business forcing overtime. They had no business winning that game, but they found a way. I think it comes down to, honest to God, I've said this a million times, this Michigan State team comes down to coaching. They have one of the best to ever do it on their sidelines, regardless what anybody said about who's overrated and everything like that, which calm down, Purdue fans. Jesus, you ask a question before the IU game, before we lose to IU, and Purdue fans are up in arms because we dared ask the question that a guy in 20 years has won Final Four. Define your bar for success, because Michigan State did. They got a national title, albeit 26 years ago, in multiple Final Fours. But yeah, I think Michigan State's success this year comes down to Tom Izzo and maybe Fears. I think Fears is going to be one of the best to ever do it in the Big Ten. I love watching them play, but yeah,
Same.
This Michigan State Rutgers game was ugly. I'd throw the tape away.
I think tonight's perfect. I do not think Michigan State is as good as the number beside the name. I think they are more like a 15, like 12 to 15, maybe even 15 to 20 range, because they cannot shoot the 3 ball. They don't want to shoot the 3 ball. And in this Rutgers game, they had to do a ton of work, especially Fears from the free throw line, to a Rutgers team who is just absolute garbage. And they almost saved Pikel's job. I don't know if it did or not, but like 15 turnovers. This team is so dependent on Jeremy Fears giving them an open shot. Like, they don't know how to work outside of it. And you're seeing it in the Michigan game tonight. They're struggling offensively, and there's so many bad jump shots. And like, not bad because it's not the shot that should be taken. It's just a bad shot every time the guy shoots it. It can be open by 20 feet, and he's going to shoot a 15-foot shot when he needs a 25-foot shot. Like, it's crazy. And they're not big inside. They don't have a dominant post player you can feed it. Like, Carson Cooper is good, but you're seeing him get just outclassed tonight. He's not got a chance. Cohen Carr, he's the easiest person on the floor to guard. You just don't guard anything outside of 7 feet. He's done for. I don't know. Like, and what happened to Cam Ward? I thought Cam Ward might have been an answer early on. He was having some big games. He had that little injury, and then he came back, and he's just non-existent. I mean, Kurtang was supposed to be a shooter. He can't hit. Scott rarely hits. I don't know. I don't like anything about this Michigan State team, but they do have a good coach. But I think they're very much overrated.
Yeah, well, they're about to go down 20 in the first half. The woes continue. Just, I don't know. I would have thought that this game would be more competitive. Here we go. Michigan's kind of flexing on them a little bit. So
yes, this is going to be. I kind of hope this will be closer. This I can already tell Michigan State's losing their cool.
If you saw it in a Duke game too, like the fans are going nuts and saying "F you, Boozer" way too early. And Fears, I think it was Fears or somebody, one of the guards, was cheering him on, didn't do that.
Yeah.
But then Boozer goes, "Okay, well, F you," and takes over, and Duke ends up winning. Like, at Breslin, like, if you're gonna chant that and you're gonna cheer it on, you better back it up. And woo, that didn't get talked about enough. How embarrassing that is. You're gonna
No, I agree.
after one player, not like, I mean, the crowd, whatever, but the player agging it on, and then you can't back it up. But that should have been a sign to how bad this Michigan State team actually is.
And so on to our next game here, we had Purdue at Indiana. Indiana winning 70-67. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Purdue
Buddy.
had 2 games that they should have won and blew it in the last couple minutes and then did not get off the bus in Bloomington. I liken this to, has anybody ever gone to work and like there's been like some odd task that's not really your responsibility. In fact, it's somebody else's, but you do it once and you do it well. And then people just kind of like, oh, yeah, he's got it. Braden Smith started scoring a couple weeks ago, and the rest of Purdue decided that they didn't have to because it's not Fletcher Lawyer. And look, if Fletcher Lawyer's sole purpose is going to be some kind of scoring threat, he is not that. Harris, Cox, Omer Meyer, they're not putting up enough volume to be threats. TKR and Oscar Clough cannot coexist on the same floor right now. There were moments like up until the new year, up until January, where Purdue looked like one of the best teams in the country, one of the best Purdue teams of all time, and they have completely gone away from everything that was their identity. It is the most frustrated I've been as a Purdue fan because the potential is there. I mean, they're going to wind up with a 15 to 16 rank on Monday, and I'm not 100% sure if they deserve that. They're gone from a potential 1 seed to the number 1-2 seed to a 4 or 5 seed. They are tanking their potential. They are leaning too heavily on Braden Smith. This is like Zach Edey all over again. They have 1 star and they lean on him. I'm about to poll fans to see who wants to win a sweepstakes where you can score a 3-point basket on a power conference Big Ten team because Purdue concedes threes like they don't matter or they're not analytically important. Again, I pose the question: Is Painter overrated? Look, I said it just to pose the question, but this Purdue team is the most easily scouted team in America. Like, you want to see if you can have an on night for threes? They're going to let you take them. They're going to let you put up 40 of them. Just hit them. Hey, if you hit 40%, guess what? You're probably going to win the game. And that's what Indiana did in the first half. I mean, they played better in the second half, but this was disappointing Purdue basketball. The only person on the floor who I felt was putting any effort in was Braden Smith. And that's really, really sad when your point guard is the guy who's Mr. Hustle out there. There's no glue guy. There's nothing like that on this Purdue basketball team, and it's frustrating.
A couple of big things that stood out to me. One was of your 15 free throws, 10 of them came from TKR.
Yeah.
And none of them from Cox, Smith, or Warrior. Clough only took them all. Like, that's, I mean, you shot 50% from the line. That sucks, but I mean, that's expected with TKR.
Yeah, TKR at the free throw line is a turnover.
Yeah. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel like sometimes this assist record and going for it and everybody like is playing in the back of their head subconsciously, and then I think it's screwing what's up on the floor because uh, one Benter's got to get more minutes, but he's also got to be able to stay on the floor. He can't get in foul trouble immediately. He needs to be starting. You need to go smaller and rotate Clough and off of that. There's no ifs and or buts about it. Like, because right now those two can't exist on the same floor. They do too much of the same things. They get in each other's way and they can't. And Painter is determined to go with this switching defense and switch these screens, and Clough and can't keep up. So it's going to get burnt. Like the fact that Tucker DeVries has the leading amount of rebounds and it's not really that close. He had 10 and Purdue's leader has 6. Like it's
a lack of effort. This right now, lack of effort. Robbie Hummel put it best. They are just not doing the easy things. Like they are making things.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
But and this is also something I find interesting. I put not a lot of faith in Kim, but I use it a lot for like research and stuff, especially betting and like figuring out who's whatever. Right now, they're still the number 2 offense, but my eyes don't say that. My eyes say it's 20 and not 2 because everything seems hard and you can't hit threes that aren't Braden Smith. So it's like, and he's not really that good of a 3-point shooter. He's more of a pull-up game.
The last 6 games, there's nothing about that team that is a top 10 offense.
It's shocking to me. I got to look at that. It's wild to see the number 2 by their offense, and then you go look at what you see on the floor, and it's like does not match at all.
Yeah, it's been anemic, and I mean against Illinois, you saw it on full display. They were They were fantastic offensively. Defensively, or they just got waggered. UCLA, they were okay offensively.
I mean, Texas Tech dismantled a team that's very good defensively. Alabama absolutely gave everything wanted to and more there on the road. Like the offensive potential is there, and they just refuse to realize it. Like I don't know.
Yep. Disappointing. That's the word. I'm gonna chalk it up to just an extreme lack of effort by a team that's known to have effort as like part of their DNA. Moving on.
Well, let's move on to Houston at TCU. Houston winning 79-70. Houston's offense is a little shaky right now.
It's a two-man game.
Yeah,
Flemings and Sharp.
Flemings and Sharp.
Nobody else is getting shots. It is unreal. Like nobody else is showing up offensively. Like nobody's wanting to take shots. I mean, I think 40 of their how many ever shots came up or between those two guys, and I mean the rebounding is like I expected them to absolutely take it to this TCU team coming off that Texas A&M game. They covered, yay, but by a bucket. Like it's not. This wasn't a fantastic showing. The defense, like I don't TCU's not a great offense, so I don't know if you can grade the defense really, but the offense was shocking. Like it's worrisome to me because when you start really breaking into the numbers, they're shooting way too many threes, and they are not that good of a free 3-point shooting team to shoot as many as they are, and it's all Fleming. It's all Fleming and Sharp, and it's shocking to me that they can't figure out how to use Sinak. And like, where's Uzan been all year? I don't feel like I've ever seen a big game out of him. And he was monster. He was a monster player for them in the tournament towards the end of last year.
Big time.
They're playing that slow pace, and it's counterintuitive. Think about it from a statistics standpoint. When you play a slower pace, you get more variance in your games, and that leads to more times getting picked off. The faster pace, you get more possessions, and on average, the better team will win more. Like with having more possessions, because they'll do better things more often than the worst team. It's just the slow pace, the shooting from deep, to not getting to the free throw line at all. I mean, they're a great free throw shooting team if they get there. It's just
if they get there.
Shocking.
Well, TCU had 36 points in the paint, and Houston had 20.
I mean, and like I know TCU has got their two big guys that they like, and it's pretty decent, but past that, like there's not that much there, and offensively, and it's just I don't know. I am worried about Houston's offense and its ability to come through because Harwell has not shown up. I mean, he's played well defensively, but offensively he's useless. Ugler, we knew that from the get go that he was going to be next to useless. I mean, he couldn't even stand on the floor. He had 4 fouls in 10 minutes. Like that, you're just a drain on team resources at that point. I mean, at least like Sinak rebounded, but 14 rebounds and 5 of them coming on the offensive glass. Like, how are we not getting more putbacks? You made 2 shots. I don't know. I'm worried about Houston offensively.
I agree with that. It reminds me, Houston and Tennessee remind me so much of each other in the way Sampson and Bard's coach in so many ways. But obviously, there's been a little bit more of an advantage leaning towards Houston of their success. Needless to say, still, that similar play when the anemia that happens on the offensive side of the ball is very frustrating, and you hate to see a good defense go to waste when an offense is that bad. Speaking of the orange and white, Tennessee getting a big win at Georgia in overtime. Back-to-back road wins for Tennessee. Love to see it. A-Man is coming into his own a bit. I feel like he's kind of built upon each game. I feel like here down the last few games, he's been way more confident, asking for the ball, wanting to take control, waving people off. Love it. That's what I've been wanting to see from him. That's what we've all been wanting to see.
Yeah. So as optimistic as I was about Purdue and how pessimistic I am about them now is the opposite of Tennessee right now. I was pessimistic about them going into January, and now I'm starting to feel pretty optimistic about this Tennessee team. Ament coming into his own has been big. He's playing like an NBA caliber first round lottery pick player. He's living up to that potential that he had preseason. This was a gritty win. It wasn't a pretty win, but an SEC road win game is going to matter here in 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then obviously in 2 months. Because, I mean, it feels like a long way away, but it's just right around the corner. And these wins,
we're 44 days out from Selection Sunday.
Wow, is it really?
Yeah, something like that, a month and a half. I'm happy with what I'm seeing out of Tennessee. I like the attack. I like Trey Flitch. I love the move to JP Estrella in the starting lineup. I think that's helping. He had a big game, 17 points. Still, the basketball IQ on this team is negative.
Dude.
I mean, and that's going to get them killed in March because they're going to run up against, like, I think, like, just a still one. Lenardi has them going against Miami of Ohio. I think Miami of Ohio would get them right now because
Yeah.
that team fights to the last bucket every game and is having to, but they make the right plays, and it feels like sometimes Tennessee will go long stretches without being able to make the right play. Like Nate Mint not realizing he couldn't run the baseline and turning it over.
That's the official tells you. The official tells you right there every single time. He tells you. He's right beside you. He's right there in your ear.
Jacoby Gillespie always like just dribbling off his toes, unneededly splitting double teams like in the backcourt. He can't get the ball up the floor. Like just plays after plays like that that just are going to kill them. They're already a sloppy team. Georgia's not a great defensive team. They still got us to turn the ball over 12 times, and 5 of those being steals. Like, and Jalen Carey has lost all effectiveness. He's been solved. He had 1 point on 0 for 4 shooting. He cannot deal.
Yeah.
He cannot deal with the taller guy in front of him. We have no bench at that point. Brown will randomly show up. Evans has got the Awaka thing going on where he breathes and gets a foul, and most of the time it's an accurate call because he's trying too hard and doing too much to be physical. I don't know. I'm happy, extremely happy we got back-to-back road wins. I think it's a good sign. We're going in the right direction. But man, looking forward, we're still looking at an early exit if we don't get ourselves just cleaned up with like at the end of games, figuring out how to play basketball and not make simple high school or even lower level, junior pro level mistakes. Killing
I think one thing I want to add on to is that, excuse me, is that I really like the way that Boswell has carried himself over the past few games. I mean, you can tell he's kind of taken more of that vocal leadership role and stepped up into that space.
10 rebounds.
And 10 rebounds. That's grit. That's want to. That's somebody, I mean, going all out, wanted to do something about it, had a double-double. Could be happy for him. He earned every single point and rebound. You know, missed a crucial free throw. That was his only miss. But still, really like what I'm seeing from him and how his demeanor has been. It seems like something switched. He's really stepping up into a place, I think, to avoid that was really missing.
Like Tennessee still got free throw issues, 15 to 25, 60%.
Still have free throw issues.
I mean, they nearly doubled up Georgia on the glass, which is nice to see. A lot. This Tennessee team, after that Kentucky loss, I was like, this year might be competitive. Like this is that seems to have woken something and they're moving in the right direction. I'm still not thinking like second weekend feels definite. It still feels like a first weekend exit, but we'll see. We went to overtime with Georgia at Georgia, and Georgia just came off getting waxed by a few teams that we were trying to compete with.
Tennessee comes out and handled business against Auburn. Does that mindset shift for you at all, or does that pendulum start swinging in a different direction?
And we'll get to this when we start previewing the Auburn game. But yeah, if they handle their business against Auburn, even at home, it'll change a little bit because to beat Auburn, we're gonna have to do some things that we don't typically do.
Agreed. So we've got a few here to kind of wrap up the reviews. We had Arkansas winning 83-79 at Oklahoma. Oklahoma can't put a full game together. They look good at some glimpses, but they're just glimpses.
Yeah, and then I mean, Acuff is that dude at Arkansas. Just if it's not him, man, like this team would be absolutely garbage. But he's there and he's carrying a major load.
Yeah, Acuff is not a guy I want to see in March.
I know this is supposed to be quick, but I did hear on another podcast, I'm not going to mention which one, but I heard someone say that Acuff is Calipari's best point guard that he's ever had.
Maybe.
So
maybe so.
Yeah, actually, more thinking about it, yeah.
Was Wall a point guard or was he a shooting guard?
That's the only one that I kept going back on because I know he brought the ball up a lot.
But he was a dynamic scorer. Acuff is like a point guard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's still a good scorer, but like Wall
didn't have to shoulder the load that Acuff is having to shoulder.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think because John Wall was a very talented player on a very talented team, where Acuff is the straw that stirs the drink for that team. So yeah, I think you're right. We'll leave it. Ask Kentucky fans, ask Calipari fans, because I'm sure they'll be vocal. Now that your ex is with somebody else, does he have a better point guard than anything you ever had under him?
Is his new girlfriend better than what you were?
Yeah, is she prettier than you?
May have more money.
Dear, they would get excoriated.
Yeah. For sure. Kentucky fans, don't let us down.
If
Then
you're
we
watching.
had, yeah, if you're watching, if you're not already tired of us. Then we had Virginia at Notre Dame. Virginia winning 100-97 in double overtime. Once again, Virginia just kind of meh.
Meh.
Yeah,
Meh.
I've loved ball. Like I was a backer of them for a minute, and they have taken every bit of credit that I had got and just thrown it away. They are
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just meh.
the Notre Dame team without their best player too.
This is a really bad Notre Dame team.
And their coach will fight you. Then we had Kentucky at Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt
wins.
yeah.
Yes, 100%. I know we're jumping right to it, but this whole the inbound pass and then taking it out of bounds was one of the most pitiful, sad. Actually, I need to show that to my 10-year-old tomorrow,
Yeah.
or 9-year-old rather. But that was a prime example of what not to do.
That was an exclamation point on Kentucky's season so far.
I mean, who do you think that game says more about? Does it say more about Kentucky or Vandy? Because I mean, a 30-point win is crazy in conference, but I love it. I go back and because I honestly think it said more about Kentucky now that I'm put into it. I think Kentucky is very much at best they are a decent team, and then at worst is what you see here. And I don't think we know that much about Vandy yet. This game didn't tell us if Vandy is back. I think this was just Kentucky being very bad and Vandy taking advantage.
That's where I'm at. Is there any chance Kentucky will be ranked again this season?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't see how that'll happen.
They're brands, so they're like if they put anytime they put 2 or 3 wins together in a row, they're going to be fighting right back there getting booked. So should they is different than
yes. There's one more. Oh yeah, George Washington at St. Louis.
The end of
St.
this,
Louis winning 79-76.
I don't know if y'all watched the end of this game. It was fantastic. Robbie Avila, the Indiana State guy that everybody forgot about after he transferred.
Respects.
My man, hits the game winner 3, wham, then comes right back down and still the inbound pass, just icing the game all by himself. The game that St. Louis lost. They had no business making that comeback. George Washington.
Respects to the rescue.
And then Thursday we had Colorado at Iowa State. Iowa State winning 97-67.
Iowa State looks like
Iowa
Iowa
State keeps
State
doing
again.
their thing.
They had those 2 slip ups and said, nope, we're not going to do that again.
God, I wish Purdue would do that.
Yeah. All right. So for this next segment, it's called Belief Check. To kick things off, we'll kind of, this is a perfect example. We got to see if we're in on this team or we're not. UConn, another close game in a down Big East. What does this mean in terms of how good they are or how much they might not be?
I haven't lost any faith at all in UConn. They are the top dog and have been for a while in a very weak Big East, and they are getting everybody's like Super Bowl shot every time they come out and play, and they haven't been 100% healthy very much this year. Their offense has gone through spouts where it looks like dead in the water, but they keep they could be down 8 with a minute left, and I'm almost 100% sure they're going to win the game. And they've done it all year. They just find ways, and those teams survive in March. This isn't your dominant 20-point win team and 23 and 24. This is kind of a grittier version of UConn basketball, but I haven't lost any ounce of belief in this team at all. I think Saturday they're going to have a healthy Mullins, apparently. I think they win that game going away out in Omaha, so see how they do.
They're just not sexy.
No, there's nothing sexy about it.
You know what I'm saying? That's the way I think of it when it comes to them. They're just not sexy. Not that they're bad. They're just not sexy.
I'm not saying this, I don't think they're bad. I just think they're very good.
Yeah.
The Big East is garbage, and they're struggling for double-digit wins anywhere. And Yeah, they get everybody's best shot, but so does like Duke has dealt with that for a long time, and they're giving out 30 pieces left and right. At your place, at their place, it doesn't matter. Arizona is dealing with the most competitive conference and going through and winning on the road, winning big at home. Uh, like I don't, I think they are a 2 seed, and they're getting looked at as a 1 seed in that territory, like where it's unquestioned, and I think it should be questioned. I mean, OT against Providence is unexcusable even on the road. It's probably seen very bad. And then you followed up with only a 6 point victory at your house. Villanova is a decent team, but once again took overtime because you can't score. Yeah, health and all that matters. I don't know. This offense is struggling majorly at all points, even when fully healthy. They shoot a lot of threes. They throw the ball has not been there. Reed is not that great of an offensive player. I don't know. I think they are severely overrated and given way too much credit for like what they did.
Brandon, I, I don't mean to do this for you, but we have to jump 3 teams because we're going to talk about did Michigan peak too early. The same could be said for this very game that we're watching because at one point they were up 19 or 20.
Yeah, I think you have 20.
And now Michigan State has cut the lead to 5.
And
5 minutes.
Yeah. 2 minutes is insane. Like I mean, Michigan's still a very good team. We do this.
Yes.
I think they did hit their top too early, and they're on their way down. And I think it's landing for a disappointing March.
But our quote in these notes is, "Did Michigan peak too early?" And
Yeah.
hold on, I thought it was about to be a 2-point game, but here we are, 5-point game, 15 minutes left. Michigan State is not dead in the water.
When we were talking about Michigan, when we were talking about Michigan earlier, we said they'll be up 13 when it should be 25, and they're going to screw around with the wrong team, and it's going to come back and eat them. And here they are. I don't know if Michigan State's the team to do it, to finish it, but I mean, imagine if they did that to Illinois. They might be to get to Illinois. Like with the way Illinois is playing, they barely escaped Nebraska. I think they got to go to Nebraska now. They're not getting that. They're not getting that in Omaha or wherever in Nebraska. I mean, I'm strongly on the side of they hit too early and they're on their way down. And like because everybody awarded them the championship in December. They said, they're just bored. That's why they're struggling with these teams. That was the quote I kept saying. They're playing with the food because they're bored. No. Their teams are on their way up, and they're just getting crossed right now.
That was a good call, Sam. Yeah, that is unreal. It looks like 2 different games.
Yeah,
from the first half.
Tale of 2 halves.
But Miami of Ohio has to be mentioned in this. I mean, my gosh. I mean, but they had another close game. They're playing with fire here.
If there's a minute left in the game and Miami of Ohio is down 6, bet your house that they're going to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's unreal, and it's not like they've got a Steph Curry or something that they're just handing the ball to and the guy goes nuts. Like they've got 3 or 4 guys they've been giving the ball to and coming up with the big plays. And do we think they're going to finish the season undefeated?
Probably.
I'm never going to say that. I can't. I mean, I know it's hard to imagine them losing, and it's not they play. I don't know. That's just such a hard thing to do.
For reference, Ken Palm has them with really 3 chances to lose. You've got 2 of the next 3, which they have 63% chances to win. Both are on the road at Buffalo and at Marshall. And then a 64% chance to win at UMass. Everything else is 70 or above, with a few 90s and an 80 in there. Like, I don't know. I love the stat of effective field goal percentage. I think it is an incredible one to look at to see how good offensive are because it's determining how good of shots you're taking. And they are top 3 in the nation. They are ranked 4th in 2-point percentage and inside the top 20 in 3-point percentage. And they're a very good free throw shooting team. So that's how you finish games is you find the right shots. I don't know. It's going to be hard to say yes, but if I was a betting man, that might be if you could find that market somewhere, that might be one that I would put a couple lottery ticket dollars on and see if they finish it out the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See if they can go 10-0 after they've already gone 21-0.
I don't know. I still think that'd be unbelievable. I mean, it would be unbelievable. Nobody would deny that. I can't. That's so hard to do.
Question is,
it's so hard.
If let's say they go 8-2 and finish the year 29-2, and then they lose in like the second round of the MAC tournament, do they get in? Do they get into the big dance?
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think they do. They don't have a single win over a power team. They didn't play one.
Who did you say?
They don't Miami, Ohio. If they go 8-2
Yeah.
out of 10, they don't have a single game over with a Power 5 team on their schedule.
Gotcha. Oh, that's tough.
So they have to win out or not win out, but they've got to win the tournament to get in.
Yeah, they got to win their conference tournament for sure.
They're not. But I was like, if they go 30-0, are going to keep a team that goes 30-1 out.
Dare I say, Murray State had a few of those teams. That's what would happen to them, which I drank to those. That reminds me of a similar situation that they found themselves in. Sorry, guys, our voice. St. John's, are they fully back? I think this is a fun one. I think there's definitely a little bit of hope, maybe a little bit of confidence building, but I don't know if that back is warranted yet.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll find out, and then we'll find out next week.
I mean, you beat Xavier, Butler, Providence, and those teams aren't exactly knocking down the doors of March Madness stardom. But
we can credit those teams now, and not against when they played tight against UConn. We can't credit St. John's for blowing them out.
But okay, what I'm saying is that doesn't mean you're back. I mean, those aren't exactly quad one games. Like if you're there and you're beating those teams, okay. If you had a big fall off when you're beating those teams, I think it's just like beat somebody that matters. Like Purdue, for example, like they beat some really, really good teams, and now they've lost to some teams. They're going to go to Maryland and hopefully get off the schneid, but I'm not going to say they're back until they beat a Michigan or Nebraska. And I mean, those are going to be tough ass games. So I'm not willing to say St. John's is back until they can go toe to toe with you.
I mean, I don't know. I think their demise was maybe overblown. You've got 5 losses on the year. Like they never should have been ranked top 5. None of them are blowout losses. It's Alabama by 7, Iowa State by 1, Auburn by 11, Kentucky by 12, and they lost to Providence by 6. Is the lowest. After that, they've handled business. They beat everybody, and they beat most teams by a lot. I don't know. They got a new center, and it's more of a top-ish team, but I don't know that they ever really were truly out of it. I think we set expectations based on a Rick Pitino team, and then really look at what the team really had.
Moving on.
So the next one, we've kind of already hit on that. So if there's some more we want to tack on, but it's Purdue. I mean, who is the real Purdue?
Purdue is right now, they're like the first girlfriend I ever had. There's some things that you find endearing about them, and then there's things you're just like, what the fuck is going on? This is the most bipolar team in the world. Are they Oakland team, the team that struggled against Oakland, or the team that dominated Auburn? Are they the team that struggled against Memphis, or the team that dog-walked Texas Tech? Are they the team that edges out Iowa or gets edged out by UCLA? Are they the team that, goes on a crazy second half run against Minnesota and looks like world beaters, winning by the game by 30? Or are they the team that gets blown out by Iowa State? I don't think Purdue knows who they are. I think when they look in the mirror, they're just like, one day they have a beard. It's like, it's quantum leap. They look in the mirror and one day they're, a woman, and the next day they're JFK, and the next day this Purdue team just doesn't know who the hell they are, and they're seniors. These are old dudes,
that
should have poise and should have identity, and I think they need some self-reflection right now. They need to figure out who they are, go back and do the Navy SEALs camp. I don't know what the hell they need to do, but yeah, they're in quantum leap mode right now.
Taking the
best reference I could have possibly made.
Taking the bullets out of my gun, because I was going to say. I don't think they know. They don't know who the real Purdue is. And I think that falls back on coaching, and all that, because when you've got a senior late.
No. You can't say anything about Painter. We've had 2 coaches. I love the comment. Does that mean Katie was overrated? Yeah. Because he was coaching alongside of Bobby Knight, and guess what Bobby Knight did?
But yeah, like not having an identity at this point with seniors that you've had all 4 years that's on you, and your leadership, and you've got to figure it out quick, because like we said, it's 40 something days away from Selection Sunday, and then it's one and done.
Yep. Yeah, I'm worried we're not a Final Four team right now. we might not be a first weekend team.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's debatable because you would say like, yeah, but they'll get against a double digit seed and get it right.
Double digit seeds are our kryptonite.
I said that tweet could not age well potentially. The last one here on the check, we've got Houston.
I was gonna say,
Can they continue?
we already hit all my points.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm worried about Houston at all.
I am.
Okay.
Like I went through that already with what I'm worried about.
You and I would make a great married couple, Jake.
We would.
That's the quote of the night right there.
Very worried about that.
Jake, share with our folks that are, if they're not on the bench, they need to come join us. Tell them the ways they can do that.
Like you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever it is now, YouTube. The best way to make sure you always get to know when we put out something is subscribing on YouTube, letting that little bell send you a little notification when we post something, because that's where it goes first, and then it spreads out from there.
Yeah, we want to hear from you. Join us. Yes, we can take it mostly.
Cry in the shower. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. That's we all have to have our space. So for our Saturday statement games, we've got the biggie. I mean, this would be awesome. BYU at Kansas. So freaking exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. This is
and it's like a midday game, right?
Yeah,
I think it's the middle. I think it's the game day game, and I think they typically play those.
Yeah, I think. I mean, there's nothing we're gonna say that's gonna be anything different than anybody else says, except for the fact that it's just like if you can get away from any distractions and lock yourself in for, I'd say 40 minutes, but that's not accurate. It's about 2.5 hours. Watch this game,
especially in warm. This is going to be a fantastic game. I'm confused about this line. I think this should be all BYU. I'm not sure why we got Kansas favored by 4.5 here. It is shocking to me because they don't match up well against AJ Jeanette at all. They don't have it. Darren Peterson is supposed to play, but does he play? If he plays, it's not guaranteed he plays a full 40. He can be out at halftime or whatever. He tweaks that hamstring. They don't have the size because AJ's 6'9". So he's going to have 3 inches on the guys probably guarding with Trey White or Dan Peterson. And then if they put Tiller on him, then Tiller will not have the quickness to stay with him. I really liked what I saw like Kennard Davis in the second half of the Arizona game. I think he finally woke up offensively. If that gets going, that's another shooter you have to worry about because you already can't leave Saunders or White. So if you have to start checking him, it's going to be real rough. They can spread the floor real easy. And Kansas isn't a deep team, neither is BYU, so we don't have to worry about like the bench being it. And then Kimikita is not what Flory Badinka wants to see ever. Big meatball of a guy that's going to run through your chest at all possible opportunities. That's not much Flory wants. I think the real weakness is they expose Tiller by spreading them out, and I think that's when BYU takes it. I'm all over BYU here.
I don't know. I want to put any. Oh, that's a toughie. Then we also have. I think this will be another huge game for both teams. Really, is Auburn at Tennessee. You've got Stephen Pearl coming back to coach against his alma mater, and it'll be interesting to see how that welcome is, or lack thereof, or that response from the crowd. It'll be weird.
A
little bit, but or it might be nothing.
I don't know that like he was beloved here, like his dad was. And
yeah,
I loved him when he played for Tennessee because he made a lot of coach's kid type plays, but I don't know if he got credit for it because he was playing on some pretty decent teams. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the reaction is. I bet it's more booing than not, but we'll see.
So that's kind of how I feel too.
Yeah, I think Tennessee. Well, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say Auburn is a team that I've watched live, and I'm not a believer in Auburn. Even though they dog walked Florida, I'm not a believer in Auburn.
Here's my fear, and this is what I was alluding to earlier. Auburn doesn't turn the ball over, and Tennessee does that at every possible opportunity, really, especially during the game. So that was the difference in the Florida game. Auburn had like 6 turnovers and forced a bunch on Florida. That's where this game lies, is 2 areas. Tennessee holding the ball, can they get Auburn to cough up enough to keep it even? What do we do with Keyshawn Hall? Because he is just tearing everybody up. Can we contain him enough? So they've got to be able to flex for Tennessee to win this game. And they're favored 5.5, and that shocks me. I thought this would be like a 2.5 or whatever, with Auburn being the better team on a neutral court. That's not seeming like, at least the books disagree with me. But if they can keep Auburn on the 3-point arc because they're not a very good 3-point shooting team, and Tennessee hits a few of their threes. Like Boswell hits a couple, and then maybe Abram or Evans hits one or two. Like he gets a couple threes out of unexpected places, and then it meant unless we keep going, Tennessee wins. But there's a lot of ifs there for Tennessee to win this game, and I'm worried that we're going to be right back down on the downhill run here. Is I think playing their best basketball of the season in the last couple of games. They come back against Texas was big. Obviously blew out Florida. They fell asleep in the first half of that Texas after that big win at Florida, and then came back double digits and won. So it was a 20-point lead in the second half.
So this will be one of those games again where we're going to be down for most of the game and then come out with a win.
I hope that for you guys. I'm just not a believer in this Auburn team at all.
They're starting to change my opinion on them in the last 10 full games. I think they feel something. But what happened to Pettiford?
I'd say it's something weird.
The talk was about him, and they were doing everything they could. Like it's almost like they could kind of go without him. Like, I mean, they don't really have a replacement value at point guard, but they probably could have spent some money that they spent on him and got two guys to get a little bit deeper of a team. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird. Something's off.
Yeah,
he's not right. He's not blending, meshing well. I don't know what's going on in that sphere. Our next game here is Duke at Virginia Tech.
Do we need to talk about this game?
The only point is
20 or 30.
Duke's defense is not getting talked about enough.
I think Duke is happier in the pig and shit right now because everybody's talking about Michigan, everybody's talking about Arizona, everybody's talking about Nebraska, and Duke is just here like, okay, we're just gonna go in and mollywop teams and then come out and take our number 4 ranking and our number 1 seed and just casually beat the hell out of everybody that we face.
I was looking through the 3 of those 60 and one of those was Stanford who barely got to 50. They're forcing turnovers on 22% of their other teams' possessions. That defense is unlocked right now, and you can't rebound with them because you don't have the size and the strength. They're scary. They're absolutely scary right now. And you're right. It's do they win by 20 or 30? The line is 10.5, and I'm going to stick them the house now.
Yep. Agreed. I'm doing SMU at Louisville, and we'll see what kind of Mikael Brandt we're going to get.
This is the Caleb Love comparison I was making the other night. If he has the same shot selection that he had at Duke, they lose this game outright. It's not going to be a thing. They will lose this game if he has the same shot selection because SMU is not a terrible team by any stretch. BJ Edwards, Miller, they get a couple big guys and I think they're better all around offense because Louisville's offense outside of Conwell and Brown is non-existent most of the time because McNeely is not having a great year. So, like I said, this game is going to be decided by Mikael Brown and his Caleb Love best tendencies.
This next one here, the line is confusing. It's Kentucky at Arkansas. Arkansas at 7.5.
Arkansas
did both teams lose?
That you stole the words right out of my mouth, Brad. I'm rooting for a busted breakdown.
Yeah, this is I don't know. I have no clue what's going to happen on this team. If you were to line these two teams up and not tell me who's who and just show me the silhouettes of the guys or whatever, I would probably pick Kentucky because I think they've got the athletes of the size and they can't seem to put a game together. And Arkansas at home is a different animal than they are on the road. And then once you know it's Darius Acuff, the 7.5 points is a lot. I wouldn't touch the game there. But I don't know. This is a game that'll probably be on my TV that I'll be checking in on just because it's going to have a big say on SEC standings. Who wins this game? But I have no clue what's going to happen here.
My gut, Arkansas is going to smash them. I'm not going to go by any analytics. It's just what my gut says. It's just how I'm feeling, how bad Kentucky played, walking into Bud Walton, Arkansas doing Arkansas things.
Then calls for because Kentucky fans are very level and even tempered, and we will.
Correct.
We're not here fire Pope argument again because he got blown out twice in a row, like when they were saying he was the greatest coach ever after he won 5 in a row.
Right, oh Lord. All right, so quickly we've got a Sunday spotlight. We got some good Sunday games. Thank you, Lord. We've got Alabama at Florida.
Is there any way in this game?
Which Alabama shows up?
Does it matter? They don't rebound. And what does Florida do? They got the front court in America.
Tie game.
they're playing like 3 minutes left, but there's 8 left in the game. It's crazy. But yeah, I don't see, and this will come back to bite me. I don't see a way Alabama's in this game. This is Florida all day and all night, twice on Sunday.
Yeah. This will be I think this will be an interesting one to watch. But yeah, I'm not touching this one. I don't think we don't have the spread out yet. But
I will go ahead and say it. My week's going to be on Florida. Like that's where I'm putting my
Florida. Yeah. What time is it? Well, yeah, that's a toughie. What about Illinois at Nebraska? Do we have any? This I think this one's a little bit of a tighter.
I'm going to be
what the word I'm going to say
during this game, so I don't want this spoiled for me. I think this is going to be an absolute show.
This is going to be a fantastic game. Depends whose threes are going to fall, and like Illinois is one of the deepest teams in America, and also one of the thinnest at the same time. It's Wagler, and then which one or two guys are going to step up with Wagler. But the thing is, they've got like 7 guys that can be one of those 1 or 2, but only 1 or 2 of them is going to show up.
Correct.
It's going to be interesting. There's a reason Nebraska got them at Illinois. I would tend to lean Nebraska here. I think they're a more balanced team, but the higher upsides in Illinois for sure.
All right, so for like a quick preview here, as we wrap up to look ahead at some games here, just want to keep you all in the loop about maybe some things that are happening coming up soon, aka March Madness. There's some things with WinWare that we're working with them on, and we would love to have you all a part of what we do. I know I'm being super vague, but it's on purpose. It would kind of build some excitement here. That's just broadcasting one-on-one, people. But since we are professionals, but it is going to be a really fun time, and WinWare is going to be a huge part of that. And we hope that you spend that time on the bench with us. So for the quick preview, we're going to run through these. We've got Texas Tech at UCF.
Yeah, Texas Tech should win this game, but it depends on which Texas Tech team shows up.
Yeah, do they continue to run, or do we see the one that was blown out by Purdue and struggling? Just a couple of quick little things. They are absolutely on fire in conference play from deep, shooting about 42.5%. Of the team in this conference play. That's been the biggest jump, like, and why this team is looking as good as they are at the moment. But I don't think UCF really stands a chance.
Then, Arizona at Arizona State.
Rivalry games are weird, but I've already called a crime scene investigator to come to Arizona to find out who done it, because I do believe Arizona is going to win this game by more than plus 16.5.
The interviews with Hurley sound like he has given up on this team and his time at Arizona. And I'm not sure there's any magic left.
Bit of an Eeyore.
You catch Arizona sleeping. I don't know. Don't think so.
Then we've got UConn at Creighton.
Do we just take Creighton with the points? Is that the plan right now? The line is, yep, Creighton, and then
UConn by 3 in overtime.
Yeah, UConn wins the game, but Creighton covers. Like that's where we at. I don't know.
Yeah, UConn by 3 in overtime.
And UConn's good, despite what I was saying earlier. They're good. I mean, Creighton's been garbage.
Then we've got St. Mary's at Gonzaga. That kind of depends on what version of Gonzaga we see.
This one's interesting because Gonzaga has been yo-yoing and screwing around with a conference similar to UConn, but a little bit worse because their conference is a lot bit worse.
Mm-hmm.
St. Mary's is their only real test, but at the same time, they've not seen a team. They've not beat a team that is over like mid-50s in KenPom this year, and that includes losing to Boise State, who lost to a Division II team. So.
You remember when I picked Boise State as my...
Remember that time?
Remember we thought they were, yeah. No, that is not one well. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in this game. I just think it's something interesting to keep your eye on with Gonzaga if they're falling off or are they just sleeping at the wheel.
Yeah, and what did we say about the St. Mary's team earlier? Their one metric every year is, can we beat Gonzaga? I just did my annual review and I went over 8 different metrics and 10 different goals and what I achieved and what I didn't achieve. There's just one, and the athletic director's office for the coach of the basketball team is like, Gonzaga, did we win or did we lose?
And did we lose by 20 or was it close? Yeah. Close is like, hey, there's your 3.
That's right.
Yeah, it's like it's graded on a curve.
All right. So now we move into our bench behavior. Golly, who would have thought that this would happen with Football Hall of Fame voting and not putting Belichick in on the first opportunity? He's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
It invalidates the whole process.
100% to me. I agree completely, Sam.
Most Super Bowl wins. Cool. Like that should get you in when you have 9 of 56. Like you've got.
Hold on. Most Super Bowl wins, most Super Bowl appearances.
Going through it all, yeah. I was just saying
Yeah.
he's more than a tenth of the amount of wins possible for a Super Bowl, and you're not going to put him in as a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, whether you want to hold Deflategate and all that against him and say, oh, that was Brady and not him.
Yeah, I don't care. What he did over the course of 10, 15 years was insane. And we probably won't ever see it again.
This is one of those mistakes you can't get back.
Yep. Yeah, and
I agree.
Here's the thing, I don't think Belichick gives a shit. He waited 49 years for his girlfriend. He can wait one more year for the Hall of Fame.
It'll be funny.
That was a home run. That was a home run.
If he got the Hall of Fame thing and he just said, "Nah, I'm not good. I'm good."
I don't give a shit. I'm coaching North Carolina.
Golly, yeah. When I got that on my phone, I kept reading it over and over, making sure I was like reading it correctly. Just a quick mention here, quick standing out is Cooper Flagg and Continental. Incredible game last night. Did you all get to catch much of it?
I got to watch the highlights.
Yeah,
those two dudes are putting on a show, and it just, as a Duke fan, it's got to kill you. You see that, and you're like, we couldn't break a press.
Yeah,
we couldn't break.
That's fair.
And we've got five. One of your other starting five, Sion James, is playing in that game too. Well, but I mean, it was fantastic. I mean, Cooper 49, 10 and 3 is just nuts, and Conn just hits everything from deep. I think he's 8 to 12. It was a fantastic watch. Conn has been such a shock, and I was telling you that's who the Spurs should take it to. Is they are cornering that franchise. They're starting to corner that whole franchise on Conn. That's crazy. But this is kind of fun, and it kind of hurts my heart to think about too. Is Cooper Flagg the best, the greatest unclutch player we have ever seen? I cannot, for the life of me, remember him hitting a game-tying or game-winning shot. But it's never his fault that his teams are in that situation. Like last night, he puts up 49.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's got to do else. But
yeah,
he must have game-tying, or was it the game-winning shot? I can't remember which one it was. The ball's always in his hands because he's an incredible player, but never making one.
Yeah, sorry, Jake, 49 wasn't good enough. He needed 51.
Somebody else can't have 17 and get to the same number. Like, it's like he's just either unlucky or unfathomably unclutch in the last 10 seconds of a game.
I'll tell you who is lucky, though. It's our coach for being able to have us on the bench to keep our team entertained and keep you all entertained. But it's time for us to go take care of business on the floor.